That was it. Grab your
Oh man, right up my fucking nose.
grab your joysticks and mash it to the beat because this is the Third Wheel Arcade post E3, the guys back home edition.
It never left.
The guys that never left.
Goddamn right.
The guys that are well rested to an extent. I guess Nick's not well rested.
No,
but
he sounds like his mind is mush.
Yeah, no, I there's a reason I'm not on camera tonight. I look like garbage.
Oh, fantastic.
Dan just slurped into the microphone and then choked to death.
Yep.
So
took that down the wrong pipe.
We're all here. Well, it's not the first time.
Onset pneumonia. Early onset pneumonia.
Early onset pneumonia.
Is that a thing? Like pre-diabetes?
Yeah.
Pre-pneumonia? That's what I have. I got both. He's like, are you a smoker? No. He's like, oh, you got upper respiratory, but it's basically pneumonia. Cool.
You know, I was about to say, like, it's crazy that you got pneumonia in June, but I got pneumonia and almost died in June. So
that's craziness. I gotta go to Colorado in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Less
shit.
than 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't want to fucking get up in the middle of the fucking mountains and be like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, you need those lungs.
I do. We gotta get this fixed. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, you're on antibiotics. You'll be good.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
It just takes a little while. That was the worst part of when I had pneumonia. I mean, the worst part was almost dying, I guess. But the other worst part was the doctors, they were pumping me with antibiotics. Like I was hooked up to IVs and I said, so these are, going straight into my bloodstream. How soon will I start to feel better? And they said, well, for the next couple days, you're actually probably going to start to feel worse. It takes 2 to 3 days to really start working. And I'm like, kill me.
It's not even a lie. I started feeling bad.
Yeah.
Today, really. But hopefully it'll be done. It's not like I got, doing a lot of extracurricular activities, being jobless. So
you're fixing stuff around the house though, right?
I am. Been on a couple interviews.
Okay.
I should have a job here soon, I hope.
Porn star?
Jizz mopper. Yep. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I've been doing a lot of?
What?
Playing video games.
Have you?
Yeah.
What a coincidence. What have you been playing, Dan?
I'm playing Forza today just to try out the Lego Forza. It's Lego Forza. We were just talking about it, Nick. I downloaded State of Decay. I haven't played it yet. The DLC pack of Heartland or whatever it is that they announced. And God, I've been playing a shitload of more of Sea of Thieves because I can't get enough of that game for some stupid ass reason. I've been playing a lot. I played a bunch of my Switch. I downloaded Fire Emblem today. I played Yoshi's Crafted World.
Fire Emblem what? Oh, Fire Emblem Warriors?
Warriors, yeah.
Okay.
I bought it a long time ago. I just never downloaded it. So I figured I'd give it a shot. What else? Did I finish Yakuza? I don't remember. It's been a lot of shit. Like literally that's what I do with most of my day. If I'm not working on stuff, I'm playing something. So I've been busy. So
good.
Yeah.
You're staying busy.
Keeping my mind right. My body
on those video games.
Yeah.
So you don't care about the Lego Forza stuff?
Yeah, here's the thing. Hot Wheels when it came out was so different because the tracks were cool. Right? You were going upside down, you were going in loops, they had like the T-Rex and shit coming at you and all kinds of weird stuff. And like Nick said, there's a nostalgia thing too. It's they haven't really done a Hot Wheels kind of thing, but there's, like he said, there's also Legos everywhere. So it's weird because you'll be going down the road and like 15, 20 yards on either side is Lego trees. But if you stray any farther than that, it's just regular trees.
That's weird.
It is weird. They have like actual areas, and it's a pretty sizable area, that have like an airport and a racetrack that are all Lego, so they've got these areas, and I only got one car so far, but you basically have to do these races. You get your normal influence and money and stuff, and then you also get blocks. So you earn a certain amount of blocks, and that might go to build a car or something. That's where I'm at right now. I need 600 blocks to build a Ferrari or something, a Lego car.
But do you do anything as far as building it goes, or you just hit a button and it builds it?
I don't know yet. I'm pretty sure it's just you collect enough bricks and it builds it for you.
Okay.
So but it's kind of intimidating when you see like all the bricks that you can collect. But really, it's just different color bricks that correspond with different events. You know, say you finish first here, you get 60 bricks plus you get, or 40 bricks plus you get the 20 from if you finish second. You know, so you get a total of 60. So every real event you do, you get like 60 bricks, and that keeps adding up. And it's not, I don't know exactly what they're all for yet. Just from an aesthetic point of view, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you know, the tracks and the races are basically what you're doing in the regular game. So it's not, you know, aside from the ones where you're in the areas that are specifically built for, you know, they're all Legos and they've done something a little bit different. Those are kind of cool. But like just your races, either, you know, through cross country or just going down the road, you know, they're cool. But, you know, you're driving a regular car. You're not really just driving a Lego car. I mean, you could technically because you get one in the beginning and, you know, you can drive whatever you want. But it's cool. I think, you know, I'm sure they did a whole lot of work on it. So I appreciate that. But, you know, I would have liked to see like Micro Machines. I think that would have been something a little bit different.
You know how cool it would have been to have Micro Machines, and then like every time they do like any sort of show or narration, it's just he talks like the Micro Machines guy.
Yeah, fuck
You
yeah.
were playing the Micro Machines.
Oh yeah, that fucking guy that spoke really fast. That was awesome. I love that dude. Yeah.
So it sounds like the Lego update is really just kind of a cool thing to look at, but nothing major.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I you know, if I mean, literally, I've played 2 hours, 3 hours of it, so I really can't give it like a full on review or anything. But it's not making me want to keep going, like, you know, Hot Wheels did, where I was like, oh, I want to go check this shit out too, you know. And
I never played
that one.
I never played the Hot Wheels stuff.
Oh, that was a good one. That was probably still their best DLC they've ever put out for that game. It was so good. But Lego, I can see where the, you know, my kids saw it and go, hey, is this Lego Forza? I said, yeah. He's like, oh, that's awesome. So, you know, it's got an appeal to, you know, not just kids, obviously, but, you know, everybody that likes Legos. So I think they could have done something different, but at the same time, it's still really good. So, you know, whatever.
Okay.
Forza.
What about you, Nick? You been playing anything?
I beat Rage 2.
Edit the paper.
Beat Rage 2. That was
okay.
A thing that happened.
Yeah. Did it shock you?
I was like, this is the ending? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I could have done like, basically it was like 3 side missions per 3 branches of each character and then the final boss battle. I'm like, I could have actually beat this game in like 4 hours.
You really could have.
I'm like, damn.
I said, are those the credits? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't think they could make a game with a worse ending than the first Rage, but they managed. It's a talent. Also played and started Riverbond last night, which is that dungeon crawler, like little pixel. I've got almost all the achievements except for one, which is glitched, which thank you so much for that. But really fun game.
Wait, you started it last night?
Yeah.
Wow.
Takes about 5 hours to beat, probably 5-6 hours to beat, maybe.
Cool.
It's pretty fun. It's like Diablo, but if you want to get your kids into Diablo and they're under the age of 10.
Nice.
So really cool, small little indie. Got some other indies that I'm going to start playing. And then July is JRPG month, so that'll be exciting.
Is that an official?
Yeah, that's an official. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to try beat 2 JRPGs in July.
But like you made this up for yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
How many or which ones do you know?
I'm going to try to beat Persona 5 and then either Final Fantasy 15 or 12.
That's tough.
I've been toying with getting Final Fantasy 12 for the last several months. I never finished it on PS2. I played it for maybe 10 hours and I just didn't get back to it. But it really seems like...
Is that the one they just remastered for the 3 or for the Xbox?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started that one.
And so on the remastered versions, you can like I think at least double time, maybe four times speed combat and running around. And I love that. Like I wish every RPG gave you that option.
Damn. I missed that part. That's some bullshit. I have to go back.
I mean, I remember it being a pretty good game when I played it, and now the more that I read about it, the more I'm like, that would really be a fun game to get through. But I don't have time to play anything right now, let alone a JRPG.
Yeah.
It always feels like when you start a JRPG, it's like, all right, this is the next 4 weeks of my life, or I'm not sleeping for the next week. Which is it?
Yep. That's pretty much it, man.
But you've been editing and releasing a lot of content.
Yes. I've got 45 articles done since this, like, I think Saturday or Friday. And then I'm starting all my opinion pieces on various parts of the shows and all that fun stuff too. And then editing reviews and anything else that falls on my desk as I go, basically. It's been a rough week.
Like we know people, Ains and Bert, by the way, are in the chat at E3, and they're already like so exhausted, but now they're in our chat.
Are they just typing gibberish?
They should be.
Yeah. You know what they should do? Get on here and give us like an update. But you got Hangouts on your phone?
That would have been great.
Go live from E3, Bert. Do this.
Wouldn't that have been good, Bert? Don't you want to be a celebrity?
God damn it.
Live from the show floor? All right.
Yes.
Come on, guys. If you were available, you should have made that known.
God damn it.
Those are your friends, Dan.
I don't know who they are.
But Nick, that's my thing. Like, they're there at E3. They're super exhausted. They're going through all this stuff. Like, that's expected. You are at home killing yourself.
Yeah. It's all part of the gig. It's all part of the gig.
Oof.
Hey. Where am I at here? All right.
Where are you at?
I just brought the chat up. Like,
so
hey,
that
look,
is
people in there.
I'm surprised you've played all of that with everything you have going on, but have you played anything else?
No, I haven't really been playing much else, really. I started playing 2K18 just because. Why not? But
NBA?
Yeah.
Dude, NBA 2K19 is on sale for $3.
It's $3 on every system.
Yeah, I know. I bought that. I also had 2K18, for which I bought for like $5 like months ago. So I was like, oh, cool. I got 2 basketball games now. I'm like,
yeah. I bought 2K19. It's the first 2K game I've bought since like 16 or 17 when it was all about Michael Jordan. I don't know. I got it for Switch for $3. So I was like, you know what? Let's see how it plays on Switch. It might be garbage, but we'll find out.
Who cares?
For $3, it's cool.
I bought it on the Switch and the Xbox.
For $6, you got it twice.
$6.
That's crazy.
It's fantastic.
Diego wants to know if Tick offers any medical benefits.
No.
Just say that right out there.
I was like, is it supposed to? I thought American companies weren't supposed to do that, but
Ains is at E3 exhausted and still somehow managed to get in our chat and taunt me with the things that he's seeing. He and Bert are like talk to each other in our chat. We should have gotten Silk Song footage for Alden, bro. Wait. We should have gotten Silk Song footage for that Alden, bro.
That one Alden.
Yeah.
Where are you ranked on the Alden scale?
I don't know.
Are you the third most famous Alden, or like
really good? Well, so Ains is the third most famous Ains.
Well, there's a street here named Alden, so obviously that would take precedent.
Does it take precedent?
I don't know.
Alden is the guy.
Very small street.
Han Solo is Alden. His name is Alden.
Who?
Han Solo, the guy who played Han in
oh, okay, yeah.
The Solo
movie.
But
you're more famous than he is. For sure.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll see if Tanya knows all the Aldens. She's got a thing for him.
There's a guy on The Walking Dead named Alden too.
Oh, who?
I don't know. That was his character's name.
There was a guy in Red Dead 2 named Alden, and he was a dickhead.
Well, you're at least, there's only 4 at least. So there's a street, and then the guy in Red Dead, and then the guy in The Walking Dead. And then what was the other one? There's 5?
Han Solo.
Oh, Han Solo. Yeah. Well, you're above him for sure.
Okay.
So minimum 4.
I want to get above that street. I got to work on that.
Yeah.
If we had somebody on here who was live at E3, we might be able to pull that off. But fucking thanks a lot, Bert.
Yep. Over here not getting Silk Song footage.
Right? So I can't wait to talk about Silk Song. but we will get to that. I have been playing nothing, so
Yes.
I played a little bit of Crypt of the Necrodancer last night. My life has been crazy busy, and I literally haven't had time to play much. So anytime I've been free, I've been catching up on E3 stuff. So there has been no gaming time in my life other than half an hour of Crypt of the Necrodancer last night to get ready for Cadence of Hyrule, which came out today. Because I love Crypt of the Necrodancer, but it's one of the most difficult games I've ever played. So I'm really excited for Cadence of Hyrule, but I'm really, really hoping that it's not as hard or as difficult as Crypt of the Necrodancer. Like, it's just... Crypt of the Necrodancer has 5 worlds in it. I've only ever beaten 1 world. It's rough.
Pretty sure I own that game.
It's really good. I don't know if you'd like it.
No, I don't. I probably wouldn't.
I mean, it's very music and rhythm based. So you're on a grid on the battlefield, and it's a roguelike. So the battle or the dungeons change every level, but you have to jump along to the beat. So it's like do 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 with the song.
Yeah, that sucks.
And the enemies also move with the beat. So you have to try to figure out a way. So it's like you're playing chess. You're always like thinking 4 or 5 moves ahead, where you're like, okay, I have to get around this enemy. He's going to jump this way, and then I'll be over here, and then I'll hit him. But it's worse than chess because you don't have time to like stop and think at all. You have to just because you have to constantly go to the beat. So I tweeted about it yesterday, but that game fucks me up in a way that no game has. You know, with Tetris, they call it the Tetris effect, where like after you play for a long time, you close your eyes. Dan, you might not know anything about this, but you play Tetris for a long period of time, and then you close your eyes and you still see the Tetris blocks in your head. No. But Crypt of the Necrodancer does that to me, but more so because you're always moving to the beat, and you have to stay like hyper focused on this game to be any good at it. And last night I found myself like, after I stopped playing, I was like walking to my room, but I was walking to the beat, and then like I pulled up my phone to pull stuff up, and it's like I'm pressing buttons, and I feel like in my head I should be doing it to the beat. It's really weird. That's the reason I don't play that game much, because it ruins my actual life.
You have not convinced me.
I know. I don't think it's a you game.
No.
For
sure.
It's worth a shot. Like, if you have it, just play it, see what it's like. But Cadence of Hyrule should be a lot easier. From everything I've seen, it's easier than Crypt of the Necrodancer, but it also has a mode where you can turn off the beat-based movement. So everything still only moves when you move, but you can move to whatever timing you want. Like, you don't have to move to the beat. I don't know if I'll play that mode because I feel like I should play the rhythm mode, but we'll see. I have it. I wanted to play it before the show tonight, and I just didn't have a chance. So
you had to poop.
So that's what I've been playing is things that I want to play.
All right.
So E3.
Yeah. How's that going for everybody?
Entertainment Expo.
Yes.
The 3 E's.
So what did it start with? It started with EA Play, right?
Yeah.
We have no real course here. We're just kind of wing it, which I like. So
we have a Google Doc. Dan made us a Google Doc that says E3.
E3, and then that's it. So EA, whatever the hell they call that play thing. Well, I don't know what the fuck it was called.
EA Play, right?
EA Play. Jedi Fallen Order. Looks cool. That's all I remember from that whole fucking show.
Yeah, I'm similar. Jedi Fallen Order was the only thing that looked any good. What else did we see? Holy shit, did we see anything else? Apex.
New guy, girl, whatever her name was. She's electric.
Boogie.
Yep. And then Madden, I'm sure FIFA. I probably tuned out by that point.
You know what? I didn't watch EA Play. I just I watched the highlights.
I was looking for Ains, so I felt like, but then I found out like as I was watching it, he had moved on to try to get go play a game. So I was like, well, this is bullshit. Why am I still fucking watching Apex? This is trash. So yeah, it wasn't really that exciting to me. I mean, even Jedi Fallen Order, which looks cool, You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. They had a nice little gameplay trailer, or whatever it was. As long as it's not fucking Dark Souls and Star Wars combined, I'm fine with it. However, I have no idea because I don't know. Sam played it. I don't know if I read his review of it or not, or I thought he was going to play it. Or maybe Nick said he was going to play it. I don't know. What's up with that, Nick? What's happening with Sam?
I think we had gameplay scheduled. I can't remember if it was a playable demo or just a watch demo.
I'd like to know more. I'm still going to buy it. Man.
So that's EA Play sucked, but
Yes.
that game looks amazing to me.
Yes.
That game looks like everything I want to play ever.
Yes.
That Star Wars.
Dark Souls.
No, I don't think it looks like Dark Souls to me. Even if it was, though, I think I would be in. Like Dark Souls with lightsabers. Fuck yes.
No, my favorite thing was the top rated comment on the trailer at the time when it first came out was someone was like, "Oh look, it's Uncharted 4 with a ginger."
Nice.
Well, that's what I kept thinking. It looked like Uncharted with a lightsaber, like the way even like the combat was, the way you were traversing, like it looked like Uncharted, which is what I want. That's why I was so upset when they knocked Amy Hennig out of her game.
Yeah, you know what Amy Hennig's getting? Google Stadia.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Stadia. I'm trying to figure out what happened on EA Play, like just in case.
Not,
I can literally break it down for you. It was they started off with Star Wars, then they went to Apex Legends. This was all in half-an-hour increments. They did Star Wars, Apex, and then
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
They talked about all the balances, changes, new maps.
Yep.
Then they went to FIFA, talked about the new Street Ball mode and a lot about that. Then they had Madden.
And then Sims, right?
And then Sims, which was some new packs and some Pride celebration stuff. So,
all right. Well, we can skip all that shit.
Yeah, what a boring piece of shit. So then we had Ubi that night, right?
No, that night was, I don't know, what was it?
No, it was just EA. The first day was just EA, and everyone was just like, this sucks.
Yeah. And then the next day was Xbox. So this is the big one. So let's talk about Xbox.
Yeah, without Sony there this year,
yes.
Spoiler alert, Xbox was the only show that everyone was looking to because everything else was kind of publisher based and no console based. We expected to see a lot of Xbox console stuff, and we expected to see exclusive stuff. Now we kind of knew going in that we were going to see Halo and we were going to see Gears. So I think everyone was hoping for a surprise, and I'm not sure that we got it, but we'll figure that out.
Right. So they started with Outer Worlds?
Yeah.
Coming out on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You know what I should do? I should bring up my docs. I got some good docs.
Oh yeah, you did have a good doc.
Mm-hmm. Then they went like straight to fucking something else.
Come on, pneumonia.
God damn pneumonia.
We are very unprepared.
Oh, I'm fucking dying.
I got home 45 minutes before the show and then made dinner, and then here we are. But this Outer Worlds looks so good.
I have no idea what it is, but it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally agree. All right. Ninja Theory's new game, Bleeding Edge. How was that? What do you think, Nick?
I'm of the thing of I think the trailer was kind of
yeah.
But everyone I've talked to that's played it said it was amazing.
Yes. Right.
GameSpot gave it the best. They gave it best to show award over everything else that was there. So that speaks volumes to me. I think Xbox has a bunch of good games that they showed off. They just didn't show them off well, if that makes any sense.
Well, that trailer made it look like Overwatch with crazier colors. Like that's really all it looked like to me.
It's like a For Honor / Overwatch.
Yeah.
You know?
It's basically class-based For Honor, essentially, which For Honor is class-based as well, but this is just a different spin on it. And when you think about it, there's not too many games on console doing this, so it could find an audience.
Sure, but I think everyone for the most part, was thinking, I definitely was thinking, like they were going to come to Xbox. Microsoft bought them. They were going to finally bring that single player, narrative based, kind of like a Hellblade, and blow everybody away and give everybody a chance to play this style of game on Xbox. And I was super disappointed with it. I mean, I'll play whatever they make just to give it a shot, but I wanted to be able to have that experience on Xbox because I don't think I really have any games like that on my Xbox.
Well, to preface this whole thing, like it's not the thing is all these studios they announced last year are picking up, right? There's no way that most of them are going to have any kind of, either maybe not even a trailer, let alone gameplay. So this one, they've been working on since prior to the acquisition, prior to Hellblade, I thought.
Yeah, they said they've been working on it like 2 years longer than Hellblade.
Yeah,
right. So
to break this down into more manageable portions, and this is why I always tell people temper expectations, is because there's an article with an interview on PC Gamer from the day after E3 last year. And it was the studio lead for Ninja Theory said they had 4 or 5 different projects that were on the go because the team is split into groups of 10 and 20, basically, and they all develop their own games. And then when they get close to being finished, they reprioritize team members to get it out the door. So this game in particular was in development since 2014, but they had to scrap it in order to get Hellblade out the door. And this was the game that the studio really wanted to make. So when Microsoft acquired them, Microsoft said, we'll give you the money to revive that game you wanted to make. Because this, as it came out later, there's been reports from Kotaku, Game Informer, everyone else, is that this game was made with 20, 30 people. This isn't the Hellblade team. The Hellblade team's working on a different project, and that there's probably about 3 or 4 projects that Ninja Theory's working on internally, because that's how they develop, is they like to start small and then grow bigger. So I think lack of communication may be to blame on that, but it also comes down to the fact of if you're telling people this is the direction we're going and this is what we're doing, people just kind of assume that, like, I'd never remember Ninja Theory coming out and saying we're going to make a Hellblade basically on Xbox since we were acquired. That was just kind of what everyone thought they would do, which does make sense. And it's kind of unfortunate that they revived a 4v4 multiplayer game when they got bought by Xbox, because everyone's biggest critique of Xbox is that it's multiplayer focused and yada, yada, yada. Right. So it's kind of like it's bad PR, but I don't think there's anything they could have done about that. And I definitely think if Microsoft had been like, yeah, no, we have enough multiplayer games, we don't care about your passion project, make what we want you to make, I think people would have taken issue with that too.
True. It's on Game Pass, like Diego said too. So
yeah,
even for everybody.
Yeah, so much of what they showed, most of what they showed is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Let's
touch on like a few things and just hit like the main points, because we've got a ton of stuff.
Yeah, so much.
So we've got, I think they went to Ori after that.
I
think people are excited. Looks like Ori to me.
Yeah.
But nicer. So I'd never finished the first one.
Me either.
Yeah. But it looks good. February 11th.
I want to get back to Ori, so I need to do that before I ever consider playing Ori 2.
Agreed. And then they've got Minecraft Dungeons. So basically like a Diablo style Minecrafty thing. Spring of 2020.
I hate to say it, but that looks super fun.
It does look fun.
No one even understands how stupid the numbers are going to be on that game, since
it's going to be insane.
Like PC, and the fact it's going to Switch day one, that's like Switch bait right there.
It's going to be crazy.
I'm patenting that.
Yeah. Great. I like
Switch
it.
bait.
That my nickname, Switch bait.
You get 10%.
It's Switch bait. It's that game you look at it, as soon as you see the trailer, you're like, that'd be really good on my Switch.
Yeah.
Nice. So then Phil Spencer comes out. I think I wrote here, what the fuck is that on the shirt? Turned out it was a Psychonaut shirt. Didn't realize that at first. That was a question, or one of the trivia questions on Season Gaming. so I was, interested.
Okay.
Looking for Ains's head, can't see it. Blah 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 blah.
I did so much of that this year. I was looking for Ains and Bert every chance I could. I was looking for Bra at the Square Enix conference.
Yep. Red Zipper on P3 sure was distracting. I think I put that on there. Let's see. More Star Wars. A guy was climbing an AT-AT. No cars on stage. This is just my stupid notes. Scary Game. Oh, that was the Blair Witch. Looks cool, except I'll never play it. Crazy. Yeah.
It looks all right.
Blair Witch. Yeah.
I mean, it's from the people that did Layers of Fear, so it'll probably be good, but just not my preference of spending my free time.
No. Well, yeah, that's as we're watching the trailer, I saw a couple of the symbols, and I was like, I turned to Tanya, and I was like, "Is that fucking Blair Witch?" Yeah. And it was, and I was shocked because she was like, "No way," and then it was, and it looks fine. I don't know, there wasn't really a whole lot to it. It seemed.
No. Nope.
Well, it's funny because pre-E3 there was a leak on Reset Era, and it was like Xbox is purchasing Bloober Team, and we were like, "Who the hell is Bloober Team?" So we back research it. It's the developers for Layers of Fear, and then someone misread it because it was all in Polish or whatever. It was like a Polish financial report or whatever, and they were like, "They're buying Bloober Team," and that was mistranslated as they were doing a game, which is the Blair Witch game.
Yep.
And it was kind of like, okay. And apparently they are looking to revive more old horror IPs going forward. Perfect. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Chucky video game might be absolutely terrifying. I don't know.
Great.
Oh, for sure. No, terrifying. Yes. So up next, Cyberpunk 2077. Keanu comes out. I start blowing my load. So that's basically what happened. So they show the trailer, very end. Keanu, he walks out on fucking stage like anybody could have seen that one coming. I mean, bravo for keeping that under fucking wraps.
Exactly. That's what was nuts to me. Dude, I hadn't heard anything about that at all.
No, and he's got like the second most pieces of dialogue in the game. I think is what I read.
Yeah,
that's nuts. So he's in it for the long haul for that one. So he's got this like, I saw like Matt Piscatella talking about it having some kind of really big resurgence of Keanu, because we as older gentlemen kind of think, well, maybe not you, Nick, but think of him from like Bill and Ted, and the super young guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's completely transformed. He was kind of midway there with Neo. Now he's just a fucking guy that you want to go and fucking talk to and like hang out with, and like when he's everywhere.
But yeah, now he's doing a new Bill and Ted. He's doing Cyberpunk. He's doing all of these like artsy movies. Like he's doing everything.
But he doesn't give a shit about anything. It's the funniest shit because he'll sit there and just talk about, like I saw his interview about it, and he's just like, yeah, man, it sounded super cool, and like I'm Johnny Silverhand and this and that. I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I mean, he's so out there, but he's like the nicest person. Like you have to meet him. He's just like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
When you read all this stuff, it says, yeah, he's the nicest fucking dude you ever met.
So
it's crazy.
While we're talking about Keanu, can we please talk about my least favorite thing of the conference? Is everyone in the audience trying to make it about themselves and scream out something crazy so that it'll get picked up on the camera and it'll make the person on stage uncomfortable. Keanu is probably the one who handled it the best.
Oh, for sure.
But everybody else, they're developers who don't normally speak in front of this many people and don't react well. And they would just kind of like nervously laugh and then get back to talking. Just watch the show. It's not about you, you fucking dickhead.
We even heard that, they were told to cheer at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it really didn't bother me until that it was at the Ubisoft conference where it's like that one guy.
Yeah.
Going crazy.
Yeah. The Ubi one was awful.
He's probably super excited to be there, but a little bit obnoxious at the same time. It seemed, I don't know if it was like a, hey, that guy got a fucking collector's edition from Cyberpunk. Let's fucking see if I can get something from whatever the hell they're going to show. You know, it was weird. But you know, it translates differently too. You know, when you hear like people that have been there and talking about it, like the whole sound design, all them, you know,
hashtag sound design.
Yeah, it's a completely different. You know, it's completely different than what you hear on TV because you know you go through conferences. Sorry, and you know, for us watching it on TV, it doesn't sound like it's very loud, and people are just kind of like, you know, but being there, the place I guess erupted, and you could tell that I think with the Keanu, but like with a couple other places, like literally right after they started showing indie games, and it was just like, you know, you can see the level of difference, but I guess it's just different, and it translates different, but it just translates terribly watching it on TV, I think, when one person is just fucking going crazy.
Yeah, Diego said in the chat, it was the Bethesda conference. That's what it was.
Yeah.
There was some guy who they would say something completely benign and boring, and some guy would just go, "Oh, yeah!"
The one dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commander Keen. Fuck yeah. What'd you guys think about Nick, what'd you think about the Cyberpunk stuff?
I loved it. And the Keanu Reeves twist, like when he showed up at the end of the trailer, I was like, no fucking way that Keanu Reeves is going to be in this game. And then they get him on stage, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this. How did they not like, we have the snoopiest reporters in the industry, and no one heard a peep about Keanu motherfucking Reeves sneaking around E3.
There were entire conferences leaked the day before, and we didn't even hear a rumor that Keanu Reeves was there.
He must have shown up like at 5 a.m. and just sat in a room until that showed up because, damn.
So occasionally in wrestling, they'll have surprise appearances at these events. And that's what they'll do. I've seen like behind the scenes documentaries and stuff where they've got guys who will show up. Like, I'm sure you guys know who the Hardy Boys are, or at least you've heard of them. Mm-hmm. They were a big deal in like 2000. They came back like a year and a half ago. And there's a documentary from that night where they literally showed up in like an unmarked car with like coats over their heads, and like were ushered into the back and hidden in a room and weren't allowed to leave the room until it was time for them to come out, because they didn't want anyone to ruin the surprise and leak that they were there. I have to imagine it was kind of the same thing for Keanu Reeves, which is nuts because he's a huge celebrity and he could just be like, I don't want to do this.
Yes. It was good stuff. So it comes out 4/16/2020, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me. Finish it up. Bring it on. I'm going to be taking that week off, assuming I have a job. So, Spiritfarer, or the game that came after Cyberpunk. I don't know. Battletoads. Lots of guys kind of go crazy. 35 to 40-year-old men lose their shit. I'm eating coconut macaroons. Why is the show still happening? And then something about Yoshi's Crafted World. I don't remember any of this.
There was a game that was like, I remember why you wrote that, because you said something about it in our DM. There was a game that actually I thought looked really cool and very aesthetically, like it was, the whole game is like drawn in a notebook, and you can like place paper objects in the world.
Gotcha.
I thought it looked cool if it's done well. If it's not, if the gameplay is good, then it'll be a good game, but it won't be a $60 game.
So then they kept going on. A lot of games, a lot of indie stuff. Sarah Bond came out. Super hot. She talked about Game Pass Ultimate, which is a fucking awesome deal right now. If you have Live, you should absolutely pay the $1 to get it. Gives you Xbox PC or Game Pass PC, Game Pass Live, and you get the Ultimate versions of the games as they come out from here on out. I don't think you get like Forza Ultimate or anything like that, but like Gears Ultimate will be part of that. So that's cool. What else came out? More Game Pass games.
Game Pass everything.
Yeah, everything was Game Pass, which is fucking great. So services was a kind of a big thing. Then they came up with Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. That game back in the day was the shit. That's what, like one of the few games I played on PC. It was fucking terrible compared to what we saw, graphics wise. You guys play it at all?
I played it way back in the day.
Nice.
And it seems like a game that I want to just experience again. But back in the day when we were playing that game, there weren't new games coming out every other day. Like,
yeah,
can't imagine sitting and flying a plane just like on a commercial route for 3 hours when I have other games that I could be playing. Doom Infinite's coming out. Like, I've got so much I want to play. I can't imagine flying an airplane.
You know what the craziest part about the whole flight simulator thing is? It was one of the most viewed trailers of any conference.
Wow.
Really?
It was uploaded 4 days ago, and it's got 2.3 million views.
That's awesome.
And people are legitimately losing their minds about it. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. You're fucking 10 years old, man.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. This is Flight Simulator was the shit back then. I lose my shit. God damn it, Nick.
Okay. Yeah, you could use it and then fly over places you knew, and you were like, I know that place.
I know, I'm gonna go out and buy a fucking flight stick and shit, and like upgrade my PC for this fucking game. That's how crazy it is. It's not coming to Xbox, is it? Did I miss something?
Yeah, no, it's coming to Xbox.
It is. It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming 2020. It'll be available day one on Xbox Game Pass, available on Xbox One and PC.
Right. I will now order my flight stick. Hopefully it's compatible.
And developers confirmed it's 4K, 60 FPS, HDR, all locked on console.
I just fucking got super hard. So that's awesome. All right. Well, we're running like super long here. So let's go touch on the big thing. We had Gears. They showed Gears Escape, which kind of I think looks fine. No gameplay. That's the biggest thing. Apparently, people are getting upset about.
That was crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's only 3 months out. We'll see more, I'm sure, shortly.
Right.
Talked a lot about Game Pass. New Elite controller coming out, already pre-ordered. Looks fucking awesome.
I want one so bad, but they won't sell it in Canada like the usual ads they are.
Right.
Plus, if they did, it would be like $800.
Yeah.
So
is there like a customs thing?
Like if I buy Xbox Elite controller from Amazon.com and buy it from the States, I have to pay fee on it, and it'll be like $100 extra plus like $40 shipping. So I'd be almost doubling the amount of money I'd spend. If
I bought it, right?
Yeah,
and just send it to you, all I would have to pay is shipping, right?
I think so. I don't know. I've always been curious about that because I've had people offer to do that for me before, and I'm always like I get hit with duty for this, or like.
Well, unless if they were to open the package, or if they thought that there was a reason for them to look into it, I feel like that could be an issue. So Dan, what you need to do, buy an Xbox Elite 2 for Nick, lube it up, slide it into the butt, and just
supposed to be pretty durable.
Yeah, drive there yourself and then just drop it off to Nick. And Nick,
I feel like I would wait till I got to the border, then do that, as opposed to drive from like Kansas to the border of Canada with that up my ass.
No, because if you're gonna do all this, you should get some pleasure out of it too.
Well, yeah, but what if it like accidentally turns on and then like the rumble stick goes and then I fucking go off the road because I just fucking got anally stimulated and squirted all over my fucking pilot.
But the joysticks are adjustable.
And so is the tension, apparently. Yeah, let's not do that.
All right, it's fine. It looks like a better version of the Elite.
I don't know what's happening. All right, what else happened?
Halo.
Halo. Yeah.
Halo. I really like the trailer that we saw. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. Here's the biggest thing for me, just summing this whole thing up. And this is touching on Nintendo a little bit. So at the very end of Nintendo's, spoiler alert, they announced that they were working on a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Why couldn't they just do something like that with something. You know, It's not like they don't know. And I watched the video of Phil Spencer did up for Gamer Rant or Game Bomb, or I don't know what the hell they're called. He's like, well, I don't want to, say too much, because stuff might change and da 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 da. You know what? That's fine. Just say, hey, we're working. You literally could have put that up there and said, hey, we're working on the next Fable. And people would have shit themselves and been like, this is awesome. All right, we're excited now. You don't have to show anything.
Right.
Just say, this is some of the shit we're working on.
A couple years ago, Nintendo at the end of the show just showed like a 4 logo in the Metroid Prime font.
Yeah.
And everybody lost their shit.
Right. That's all it would take.
Yeah.
Show us a little bit of something. Give us, and I think that was the biggest complaint that everybody had, was that, there was nothing really. I mean, there was nothing that really, shocked you aside from Keanu coming out. I mean, I don't give a shit about exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I want to see some new IPs. I want to see some, what are you guys working on? You've got all these studios. At least you can say, well, hey, they're working on this. Or, hey, they're working on this. I mean, a little bit. I understand to a point if it's just in like the pre-development stage where they're just kind of discussing stuff. But I guarantee you, the initiative's got something, I would think. Or Playground Games or whoever. They've got something other than the next Forza coming out. It's all rumored to be a Fable.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is the case, then they could have probably came out and said something. I think they chose not to for whatever reasons they are, and it is what it is. But that's why people are going to sit there and complain about stuff, because it's been every year. It's, we'll wait till next year. We'll wait till next year. We'll wait till next year. And everybody's so tired of hearing it. But really, next year is, E3 2020 should be fucking gigantic, not just for Xbox, but also for Sony. They should have, the consoles are coming out later that year. So there should be a ton of, well, maybe not a ton, but at least, you'd think 6 to a dozen games that nobody knows about that are going to be like, hey, this is launch title or the new console or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they could have done something more. I think they chose not to. And I think that's a missed opportunity considering there was no Sony.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. Like, I think that's what's disappointing a little bit to me, because the conference was fine. There was nothing special about it. There were some cool moments and there were some boring moments, but that's to be expected in a conference. And I'm being a little hypocritical because I've always said that games are being announced way too early these days. And in this age, it's better to announce them when they're almost ready. But with a caveat, you had this moment where Sony wasn't doing a conference and everyone was hoping that Microsoft was going to knock it out of the park. And it's like Sammy Sosa going up there with a corked bat. Like, all you really have to do is put the bat on the ball and you're going to knock it out of the park. But really all they did is they bunted it and just let the ball roll. And everyone's kind of like, okay, well, they could have picked, they have 10 studios that we don't know what they're doing, maybe 8 studios, I don't know. But
let me put the caveat. I mean, they did show xCloud, which is a whole, that's huge, and that the tech is still, as far as I'm concerned, not 100% proven. So I mean, I still am very curious about it from the looks of it and the people that were there that have talked about it, that it's really, really solid. It looks like it's running pretty well. Awesome.
Well, Ains played it and he said he couldn't even, there was no latency whatsoever. He just, it felt like he was playing on his home console.
Right.
And I trust him. He's the insider.
He is the insider. That's good. And I know that's where they're going, and that's all well and good, but a lot of people want those games, and and I understand where they're coming from, and you can only sit there and well, it'll be next year so many years, because I mean, if you do this over and over again, it shows almost like a distrust. Gaming isn't necessarily about the services or about the consoles. It's about the games. It always will be, and I think, in my opinion, you can have the most powerful console in the world, and it sounds fanboyish and it sounds, console worry, but it's not. It's just truth. I mean, you want to have, and it's not saying there are no games, because goddamn, there was a shit ton of games, right? But it was all, people wanted to see that next big exclusive, that next big game for Xbox. I don't really give two shits, like I said, about exclusive. It's just, I understand why they were upset. But there are a lot of other exciting things coming from Microsoft, and I'm very, very excited about that. I also want to see what I'm going to be playing on my phone, next year, or on my new console in a year or two. So,
well, there's plenty of mobile games that Bethesda's releasing that you can play on your phone right now.
Yes.
Nick, did you want to add your 2 cents into the Xbox and whether or not you were disappointed before we move on?
For me, I thought they had a good show. I think people are fucking whiny for the sake of being whiny.
All right, that's combative.
At the end of the day, when you take to the stage and you show off 60 games, the exclusivity of those games doesn't really matter. They make a good case for why you should buy their next console. No, but people saying they didn't show games is a stupid and dumb bullshit argument, and I will take that to my grave every day. I don't care. I own everything. The exclusivity of the item, like Xbox isn't trying to sell me an Xbox One X. I already got one. I don't give a crap about them trying to sell me stuff. They gotta sell me on the next one. I'm not sold on the next console, but I've got tons of stuff to play on my current one.
Yeah, I think I saw an article today that said, well, 2019 looks like to be a wash the rest of the year, but 2020 looks weird. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
2019 is nuts.
2019, like the rest of 2019 is kind of lean, compared to like the last few years. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
What are you talking about? The first 3 weeks of November, we have like 6 AAA games between Star Wars, Doom Eternal. No, see, the thing is like, this is my problem. Like, this is why I don't really visit sites like Reset Era and everything else, is if it's not the game that's completely tooled to what they want, there's no reason to be excited this year.
Yeah.
And like, that's the annoying thing, is it's the same people that are going, well, Sony has a dry year this year. No, they don't. They got Medieval. They've got Days Gone, which wasn't that great, but still it counts. They've got Death Stranding, they've got Concrete Genie, they've got Blood and Truth, they've got all this stuff, but it doesn't fit that pin perfect model that people want.
Yes.
So, and it's the same thing. Like, there was an article that came out after the Halo reveal, and I was like, we're tired of Halo in first person. It needs to be third person. I'm like, yeah, like every other freaking game being manufactured.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm getting tired of everything being beaten to death in third person. Like, it's the same complaint I had in the 360 generation. Everything had to be an FPS back in the 360 era. Now we're doing the complete opposite. Everything's a third person action adventure game that's 15 to 12, or sorry, it's not 15 to 20 hours. It's 40 to 60 hours to complete. And it's just like, do something unique with it. Like, that's why I like Star Wars. It's a third person action game, but they're doing a bunch of things to make it really unique. It's the same thing as Last of Us Part 2. It's probably going to be open world. It's probably going to be 40 hours. But you know what? It's going to do a lot of things that other games don't do. And it's the same thing. It's like, if you can look me in the face and say, oh, Xbox conference sucked. I don't care about Cyberpunk. I don't care about, like, just shut up.
Love it. Love it.
Cyberpunk looks so good, though.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like, I just don't. I know I'm not the right demographic for this. I wasn't even a fan of the whole, like, even when Sony showed up like last year and the year before and everything else, where everyone's like, oh, who won E3? I always thought that was the dumbest conversation people got into their heads. It's like, these are all great games made by people who love making games for us. How about we appreciate it on that level instead of which corporation can I guzzle harder?
Phrasing. Crazy talk.
But like, it's stupid stuff. It aggravates the hell out of me, and I could rant about it for hours. But next conference after Xbox was Bethesda.
Yeah.
Bethesda
and their many mobile games that they tried to tell us over and over again how excited we were for their mobile games.
I mean, really, as far as Bethesda goes, they said some shit about Fallout 76. Okay, Ghostwire Tokyo, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Looks pretty fucking badass. Whoever that lady was that did the announcing, I think she's like the director.
Mm-hmm.
She's fucking awesome. Best thing in the world. So I'm interested in that thing, but I know we're going long here. So Deathloop, I think, was another one. Super interesting also.
I loved that trailer, and I just mostly because I don't know. They're so good at creating environments and worlds that I really hope to see something good out of them. So
Yeah,
I think it's going to be awesome.
Then there's just a couple other ones. Wolfenstein, which is going to release soon. They talked about that Orion service or whatever it is, basically to make
streaming faster
or less bandwidth use for.
Yeah.
To
make streaming more viable for people who have lower bandwidth, but also just to have everything, all of their games will stream better now, is what they're saying.
And then we'll let Nick do this one because this is the biggest one. Was Doom Eternal. What did you think, Nick?
That is like basically as soon as I saw that, like the gameplay. First of all, that was like the first real gameplay we got outside of Star Wars. So I was like, all right. And they had that perfect trailer before they did the gameplay demo where it like phased to different levels like perfectly. I was like, just inject this into my dick, like 6-inch needle right in the dick. Just give this to me right now. And Alvin just left.
Yep. It's like I'm not doing that ever again. So no needles for Alden's penis.
But no, man, I 100% live for Doom Eternal because like I'm like the polar opposite of most people. Like I'll play a crappily written game as long as the gameplay is amazing. Like Bulletstorm, I love that game. The gameplay was so stupid and fun. The story was absolutely terrible, but the gameplay was so much fun. And like Doom Eternal, they're like, oh, we're trying to give it a real story. And they're like, our expansions are going to be story-based expansions. I'm like, cool. I get to kill demons in different with backgrounds now. I'm cool with this. Whatever. Just let me tear more demons, and the soundtrack's going to be amazing, and it's just going to be perfect. It's going to be Game of the Year 2019.
You might not be wrong. It looks fucking awesome. I'm not even a huge Doom guy. So I really, really want to play it. I played the first, the last Doom, I should say. Of course, I played the old school stuff, but yeah, this is probably one of them I'm the most excited for the rest of the year. I mean, there's several of them, but this one I think is one of those ones where I can play it, knock it out in almost like 3 or 4 days, and just get like so much fulfillment out of it. That's one of those. Just Doom knows what it is, and it does what it does very, very well. So I'm ready for that one.
Doom is not scared to just be a video game and be a fucking great video game.
Exactly.
Yes.
What was the last one?
My camera's off, by the way. I don't know what the hell's happening with my stream.
No worries.
Okay.
What was on Ubisoft? Let's touch on a couple of things. Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs looks really amazing.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Granny Squad for life.
Here's my only concern about Watch Dogs is every single Watch Dogs game has always looked really amazing when they announce it, and then it's reviewed mediocre once it comes out.
This is also the first Watch Dogs game that's actually getting their hands on it and actually saying it's good, though.
That's true.
Watch Dogs 2, everyone that got previews of it at E3 was like, it's all right. It's better than the first, but it's okay. But then everyone, like a lot of people are saying this was their game of the show.
Yeah.
Which is impressive to me that and this is why I always say that like developers should never be like, if you have a 1 bad outing or 2 bad outings with a game, you shouldn't kill the IP, because like, look at Watch Dogs. The first one was terrible. The second one was okay. I enjoyed my time with it. It didn't overstay its welcome. And now with 3, they're like, oh, look at all this cool, intuitive stuff that we've been working on, and we took player feedback, and this is what we're giving you. And I'm like, okay. And like the permadeath thing, really cool.
There's a lot of NPCs though, so I think the permadeath thing would be okay. Unless it was Helen, that would be really tough.
If Helen dies, we riot.
No.
Yeah.
That's probably the best one from Ubi that I saw as far as stuff goes. And
I think so. And they showed Division 2 stuff.
Yeah. And the Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six, basically, and they got their subscription coming out.
No Splinter Cell.
Yeah. What about that?
No. Sam Fisher was in that trailer for that mobile game, so technically, I still got that prediction right.
Technically, no. There was no Splinter Cell game. Sam Fisher being in a mobile game is actually a negative point. It's like not announcing it and then also saying it will never happen ever. That's what's going to happen.
I literally messaged the Ubisoft PR rep that I have on Twitter the day after the conference went. I was like, why do you hurt me like this? I sent a mobile zoom in of Sam Fisher's mobile face and just had disappointed underneath it.
Yeah. All right. So then we had what? Square?
So those two big ones there was Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Finally getting a release date. It was like 3/3/20, or that's Avengers.
Yeah.
It's coming out 2020, right?
I think February something, right?
No, it's March 3rd.
Oh yeah, March 3rd. 0303. Yeah.
0303. Looks really fucking good.
It looks amazing. That's what blew me away more than anything else probably at the show. I didn't have high hopes for Final Fantasy VII Remake, especially the way it came out of the gate and looked like it was going to fall on its face. Mm-hmm. And then they showed gameplay the other night, and the way that they have the active time battle thing now, the ATB system, where you build up the ATB meter while you're doing combat, and then once it's full, you can use that to pause time and select a spell and use the spell. I thought that was a really cool, innovative idea.
Yeah. I'm going to play it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it, but I have a long list of concerns.
Sure, yeah. But
each chapter is going to be a full-length Final Fantasy game. Okay.
Yeah.
How many chapters are we doing? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Pardon? I would have figured when they did the design of this game, they would have looked at the length of the story and went, oh, it makes sense to cut it here and here and here. And when I first heard about the Final Fantasy VII remake, I went, they're trying to remake one of the, I'm not sure if I'm correct in saying this, but this seems to be the game that has the highest fan regard.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it at least has the highest fan base.
It has the highest fan base of any Final Fantasy title. So remake it, I went, this is fan service at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
But now when you come out and you're like, we don't know how many episodes they're going to be, and we're charging $60 for the first episode, but we're taking the first 6 hours of the game, and it's going to be a full-length game. And I'm like, well, how much is the next episode going to cost?
Mm-hmm.
And how many episodes are we going to get? And also, when you start pitching it like that, it goes from fan service to, are you just seeing how long you can milk the Final Fantasy VII game itself out?
I feel like that's probably pretty accurate.
Because, I'm not saying, the designers are saying they're going, how can we milk this out? But I feel like Square is, going, well, if we sell them chapter 1, 2, and 3, we can get $180 if we charge them $60 for each. And I'm like, I don't know. Any game that's ever been episodic, they always detail what the price is going to be across the line. When Hitman went episodic, they straight and said, this is how much it is per episode. The full cost of the game is a little bit less than what you pay for each episode individually, but you can buy them individually if you don't trust us. Cool. Telltale always told you, this is how much it is for the Seasons Pass, or you can buy each episode for this amount. Cool. But just the lack of information from Square on it, I'm just kind of antsy with it because I don't want to play chapter 1, pay $60, and then pay $60 2 years from now for chapter 2. Because Square Enix, I know Alden enjoys JRPGs more than I do and plays a lot more Square Enix games.
Mm-hmm.
How often do they deliver a game on a timely basis?
Never. I don't think it's happened ever.
Yeah.
And I think those are all valid questions. It remains to be seen. I'd like to see how this game plays out. If they're fleshing it out enough to make it worth that $60 experience. I mean, they've already said that it's going to be on 2 Blu-ray discs. And the only other game that's been on 2 discs is Red Dead. So hopefully that means that they've actually added a good bit of content and it's not just drawn out for being drawn out's sake. Like if it's got 2 Blu-rays discs worth of content, hopefully it's real and not bullshit fetch quests or whatever. But that's a good thing to question. We'll see when it comes out, I guess.
Like, I'm sold on the gameplay. Like, I'm not a huge Final Fantasy VII. Like, I'm not into, like, I don't know how the story goes or anything else. And I'm just going off of what I've read. But regardless, whether this is only the first 6 hours of the game or not, it looks pretty bomb. And I'll play it just for the simple fact that the battle system has me, like, 100% intrigued.
Yeah.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean, Dan, are you going to play it?
Yeah, I'll probably play it. I play everything else, or try to anyway. So,
yeah.
You know what I don't know about still?
What
game?
Yeah, Avengers looks.
I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah,
I have no fucking clue.
Did you guys see the leaked gameplay?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, there's leaked gameplay, and it looks like it's running at like 15 FPS. It looks rough.
Me in the ass.
The animations look a little bit off. The characters look a little bit off. I am concerned. I do love the voice cast, if that counts for anything. Yeah. Troy Baker, Nolan North, Laura Bailey. That is like the all-star voice cast.
Mm-hmm.
But
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
got a lot of time, like in May. So
that's even if it hits it could get delayed too.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to hit it.
I don't think it shouldn't. I mean, you don't want to come out with a game that's, potentially with just the subject matter could, be a humongous hit. You want to make sure it's 100% right. Now, I'm not saying you look at like the new Ultimate Alliance, that game is a whole nother thing, it knows what it is. This one's
right.
A big company coming out and saying, with a huge voice cast, which probably cost them a shit ton of money. And then I still understand how it's kind of it sounded. I hate this, but it's like fucking Anthem, man. That's what it reminded me of.
It did,
because one of them. I'm super pumped for it because I love the Marvel, I love the Avengers. But then they started talking about how they're going to continue to add content. They're going to have this roadmap and blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh my god, I've heard all this shit before. So it's almost like a game as a service, right? So it's all free. Doesn't cost you anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy it. But
my biggest problem with that is when you say that all the content going forward for this game is free, that means they don't have to follow through with it. They owe you nothing.
Right.
And like,
if you don't think that you're going to be paying for potentially different outfits and shit like that, that's all cosmetic, that'll be there for sure.
Cosmetic DLC is going to be there. You want, like, if they add Spider-Man to the game, you want all his different suits, $2.99 a pop easily. Like, they're going to have alternate skins. It's co-op. It's games as a service. And to me, seems kind of stupid to me personally, because you're releasing a games as a service game literally 6 months before the next gen consoles launch.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you just launch this next gen?
Yeah.
That's kind of where my wheelhouse of thought is, because like we don't 100% know how backwards compatibility is going to work on both Xbox and PlayStation 4. We know it's going to be there, but we don't know the extent.
Right.
So it's like, I'm going to buy a service game where you guys are promising me years of content, which we've heard from Destiny all the time. This is going to be a 10-year game. 10-year franchise. I don't know. I just have a general, like Dan said, after like Anthem, so someone starts talking about a content roadmap, I just physically cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Anthem really hurt any of these games going forward.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a really, really minor nitpick, but it kind of sums up my feelings for this game. We were watching a cutscene, like a cutscene that they created for E3, and like they could have touched it up, and it's Crystal Dynamics, and they made beautiful, beautiful Tomb Raider games where Lara Croft looks super realistic, and her movement seemed like you were watching a real person move. But then in this trailer, we were watching these characters that just seem so stiff and so immobile, like they weren't moving like people would. And what's her name? Scarlet Witch or whatever, not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. Like her hair looked like it was plastic and stuck in place, like it was a PS3 cutscene. And I know that's a dumb little thing, but that worries me for the entirety of the game. Like they don't even have the way the game should look down. So
Alden, I agree with your criticisms, but when you think about the studio that's making it, it kind of makes sense though. Because what was our biggest complaint with the Tomb Raider games? Because that's Crystal Dynamics as well.
Right.
Is that like the last complaint everyone had with the Tomb Raider was the animations were weird.
That's true.
The facial animations always look kind of off. The hair always looked kind of off. The running and walking animations were kind of jarring. And like, I'm there with you. Like when I was watching that, I was like, this, like I saw a tweet, and it's a really bad tweet in terms of making fun of people's hard work, but they were like, this is like if they got an all-star voice cast for a porn parody of the Avengers. Is what this looked like.
Fantastic.
And like, I don't want to dunk on the developers because it's early game footage or in-engine footage or anything like that. I try not to get too judgmental early on, but this just didn't appeal to me. And like, when you have the Marvel brand power where people will just aimlessly just promote this shit for free, and people are like, some of the biggest Marvel guys I know are going, I don't know about that one. I'm like, whoa, you're missing the mark if you got the guys who will literally throw money at anything Marvel going,
Right. And it's not like we're seeing a scene that somebody on the show floor was playing in a demo and it just, you happen to catch it at a bad time. We're seeing what they chose to show at E3 to the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you should show your best scene, and it was mediocre at best.
Yes.
Like there was nothing memorable about the gameplay they decided to showcase.
Right.
Like, how many superhero movies have we had where you're in a battle on a bridge with the threat of a bomb? I feel like it's like I could list a dozen. Like they didn't have a really great scenario. There's parts where it looked like I was like, this is gameplay. This is gameplay without the HUD. And then there was other times where I'm like, wait, no, it's not. And like, there's this whole thing going on right now where people are like, is that whole scene a QTE? I'm like, but it's co-op, so how would you do that? It's just there's so many questions that are not answering, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, we have Nintendo. Now, I'm going to run through these real quick, and then we'll all kind of pick one that we want to talk about, because that way, otherwise we'll be here forever. Because I think they killed it. To be honest with you, they showed a ton of shit.
They did.
A ton of shit. I think they did, but it's fucking Nintendo. So I mean, I could have probably watched, a fucking ant walking across the screen and been like, yeah, I'm buying it. Fucking Nintendo. So they showed Animal Crossing, delayed until 2020. Still had some stuff on it. Looked good. Fantastic. Talked about Breath of the Wild a little bit. Smash Brothers. Banjo-Kazooie's coming. Ains probably fucking shitting himself, which is awesome. Super happy for him, except that he got a point in our quiz.
I mean, quick side note. I asked on our Twitter DM which game I should buy, and Diego and I were having like a long conversation about it, and Ains jumped in and just said, Banjo. Like, wait a second, that's not okay, go ahead.
No idea where he was going with that one either. Yeah. So then you got Luigi's Mansion 3. Bunch of cool stuff. Pokemon Sword and Shield, obviously. Then they had Link's Awakening, the port of the 3DS game, I think, or DS game. I'm sorry. No, not even that. Was Game Boy, wasn't it? Gosh, damn.
Yes, Game Boy. Yeah, original Game
1993. It came out the year I was born.
Oh, shut up.
A port of a port of a port. Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance Tactics. That's the fucking first thing I'm buying as soon as it comes out. That's on my fucking Switch. I love the Dark Crystal. I'm a huge nerd. Contra. Trials of Mana, No More Heroes 3, Witcher 3 is coming to the Switch. Super weird, but fine. Fire Emblem, 3 Houses. No idea. Going to play Fire Emblem in a little bit here. Hopefully it's down. Resident Evil, because that's what the world needs. Daemon X Machina, Panzer Dragoon, Astral Chain, which looks fucking badass. Empire of Sin, which is interesting. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The Cadence of Hyrule, Mario and Sonic Olympics, Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age, S Definitive Edition. That's a lot. We had a whole bunch of other stuff.
So much shit.
Yeah, Spyro Reignited, Hollow Knight Silk Song. I'm sure you'll.
Yes.
Microsoft Dungeons, Final Fantasy, Stranger Things. There's a ton of games coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
Tons of shit. Super Mario Maker, but they didn't even make a big issue of that one. That one's coming out here in a few weeks. So, Nick, what did you think? What stood out to you about Nintendo?
There's two things. Like, I went from not wanting a Switch to I'm gonna have to be tied to a chair to not buy one because Luigi's Mansion is just.
Yep.
As soon as they were like, and here we have Gooigi, I'm like, okay, take all my money now. Just.
That's all it took.
Throwing my wallet at my monitor.
That would have been awesome.
And the other one it's an odd one, I guess. It's called, I'm trying to find Empire of Sin.
Okay, yeah.
I'm interested in it for the simple reasons it's done by Romero Studios, which is the guy who made Doom. Like John Romero made Doom, and that's his studio behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So a gritty mob game done by the guy who did Doom, top down, I'll take it. I'll try it.
It's like a tactical game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks very, very unique. So I can't wait to see more of that.
Yes. Alden, what'd you think?
Well, so I've really kind of become Switch bra over the last few months.
Yeah.
But then this conference, this didn't help at all. This Direct, like there are so many games that I want to get. That's the reason I was talking about it in the group DM is because I have 2 of these vouchers because Nintendo's doing a digital deal where you can spend $100, get 2 vouchers, and pick 2 games. So you save $20 plus more if you can get the eShop credit cheaper.
Okay.
Huh?
They still doing it?
Yeah, it's over. I think at the end of July, so you have time.
Yeah, I might as well just go do it because I'm gonna have to buy all these games anyway.
That's my thing. Is I can't pick 2. The Luigi's Mansion looks amazing. Fire Emblem looks awesome. Astral Chain looks amazing.
Yeah.
Zelda, I probably won't get. That was the biggest disappointment to me. Is Zelda Link's Awakening is a really, really great Game Boy game, but it's like 6 hours long or some shit.
Yeah.
And this game is going to be $60, and they haven't said anything about adding any content, but they did show a dungeon maker, and I don't want to I don't want to make my own dungeons and then run it. That sounds the worst.
We didn't make any new content for this game, but we gave you the tools to make your own content.
Right.
Assholes.
Right. And then they're going to charge $60 for it. It seems it looks amazing, and I'm sure it's super fun. And Link's Awakening is a fantastic game, but to sell it for $60 and not make any mention of making it any longer. I want to talk Hollow Knight Silk Song so bad. I watched like 30 minutes of gameplay for it today, but we don't have time for that. I think I was blown away by Luigi's Mansion, Astral Chain, Dragon Quest looks awesome, and Fire Emblem looks like it could be really, really great. I watched a lot of gameplay on that too, and I'm a little worried because there's so much in between battles where you're just kind of going through menus and picking the people you want to level up and picking people you want to spend time with so that you level up their friendship level or whatever. It's probably a lot more fun to play than it is to watch. So Astral Chain, though, I can't wait for. It looks like it's going to be really, really, really fun.
Yeah, that's probably number 1 for me.
Okay.
Aside from obviously Dark Crystal, which will be Game of the Year 2019. So it's weird. When I saw that come on there, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Because this is like, it's weird that I have such a connection to that movie. But it's kind of something that me and my mom and dad, my brothers, it was that one movie that was so fucking, it scared the piss out of me when I was a kid. I was like, I was probably 9, 10 years old. I don't even remember when it came out, but it was I remember it so vividly. I have it on VHS still somewhere. Not that I have a VHS player, but when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is going to be fucking badass. Then it was like, okay, so it's a top-down, turn-based. It's XCOM, and basically the Dark Crystal. Yeah. So I'm sold. That one I'm just gonna buy. So if I had to pick 2 other ones, it'd probably be Astral Chain and probably Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh yeah.
Do I get? But there's so many choices. I don't know too much enough about Fire Emblem to, I bought it a while ago. I never played it, so I'm gonna play it actually when we get done here.
Well, this one is so much different than the one that you bought. You bought Fire Emblem Warriors, which is like a brawler almost. Like,
oh,
yeah. But the rest of the Fire Emblem games, and this one for sure,
just JRPGs.
It's more like a tactical game. It's a top-down tactical grid-based game.
Well, that's what I need.
Yeah, they're super long and in depth, and the stories are crazy. They're very kind of, to put it loosely, they're very Game of Thrones, in which like there's no incest craziness, but there is a lot of political intrigue, and you're trying to figure out who's going to take over this king and the castle over here and this kingdom. You have to defeat this ruler so that you can take over their kingdom. There's a lot of like political cutscenes in these games.
Yeah. What's the one? Valiant Hearts or something?
Yes.
Like
yeah.
With the tank.
Yeah. No. Valkyrie Chronicles.
Valkyrie Chronicles.
Yeah.
Is it similar to that? Because I had a pretty good time with that game.
Story wise, it's similar. The gameplay wise, it's a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know what you would have played that it's like, but it is like it's similar.
I'll give it a shot.
It's going to be super long.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm super long.
Damn.
What?
But yeah, Dark Crystal looks really awesome. I don't have emotional ties to Dark Crystal. Tanya does, and she's really, really, really excited for this game. But I love tactical games, so I'm excited for it too. And it looks really, really unique and interesting. So I'm in.
Yep. So anything just to finish up that we didn't talk about that you want to touch on, or that kind of stood out to you at the conference that wasn't necessarily part of a conference, like a specific conference?
Yeah, but not tonight. It's we've been going.
I'm on with that because I'm about to fall asleep. My throat hurts. All right. Yeah, I'm good then.
All that matters is Baldur's Gate 3 game of the show. That's all that matters.
I didn't see anything about it.
It was at the PC gaming.
Is that the PC game show? And Larian Studios has been working on it since 2016.
I always thought it was a Stadia thing.
Stadia. The thing you're going to buy to stream Destiny, because that seems like the only thing that people seem to be talking about with it.
Yeah.
All right. I've switched my order from Stadia to the Elite console, so we're good. Or Elite controller.
Yeah. I didn't watch any of the Baldur's Gate stuff yet. I need to do that because I didn't watch the PC show because I'm not a big old nerd.
Hey, no, PC show actually had good stuff for once.
I know. I've seen some of the clips from it, and it does look like it was amazing.
And a lot of the stuff that's coming out, the indie stuff that was at the PC show, a lot of it's coming to Switch now.
Switch bra right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything you want to add, Nick, before we go?
No, I'm good.
Go read Nick's stuff at what's the website?
You can find anything I write at tickgamesnetwork.com, and we'll have a ton of E3 related stuff from Sam coming up. I took a look into the pending and draft section of the site. There's like 30 freaking things in there, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out about a lot of games that people have been asking about. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of really great stuff over the last few days, and I feel bad because I haven't retweeted a lot of stuff. But Nick has put out some really good stuff. Ains and Bert have put out some really great stuff. All of the guys at the PlayStationBras.com have put out some great stuff, and I have put out nothing. So,
yeah, me neither.
All right, you got pneumonia.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to put that out though.
He's putting it out though. He keeps coughing.
Yeah.
Dan, anything you want to say before we go?
Oh, just check out Nick's stuff. Check out Ains and Bert and Bras stuff, all from the conference. Check out Sam's stuff. Samuel on Twitter. Good stuff. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm having a hard time speaking now.
We've been going a long time, and we've all had very, very exhausting lives lately. All right. I don't know what Dan's doing, but he's alive. That's all that matters. Oh, there we go, Dr. Pepper. All right. So that's going to do it. This has been Third Wheel Arcade episode 21, I think. I'm really not positive. That's why there's a question mark there, because I'm not sure. We'll talk more E3 next week, I bet, because there's still so much that we didn't even touch. And even some of the stuff we did talk about, we could barely talk on because it's been a 4-hour show.
My fucking goddamn Dr. Pepper is frozen.
What?
God damn it.
All right. Well, Dan's going to go deal with the problem. Nick's going to go fall asleep, and I'm going to go fall asleep. Thank you for joining us. This has been Third Wheel Arcade episode 21. Have a great week.
Yeah.